is enjoyable exercise. Although you can use exercise as a short-term quick fix in times of frustration and stress, it works best, I believe, when you can give yourself the gift of a regular ritual. When you move your body, you can release stress and you can increase your happiness naturally as the endorphins and serotonin levels are released. And when you exercise, be intentional about getting rid of the stress. For example, when running or walking, it can be great to use the mantra, let go, let go, let go, let go. See if that could work for you. Doing shoulder and neck stretches and hip openers can also release a lot of stress and tension, because a lot of people hold stress in their shoulders and their neck, and some women hold a lot of stress in the hip area. It can be where we store a lot of tension. There's a lot of tightness, so it needs to be opened and stretched and letting that stress come out. The great thing about exercise done on a regular basis is the domino effect it has to live healthier and make changes in other areas. Typically, exercise brings out a lifestyle change, as it often affects how you eat, how well you sleep, and many people I work with tend to drink less alcohol, or smoke less cigarettes, or stop altogether when they get into a good, healthy exercise routine. And most of the time when we're trying to incorporate a new mindset or habit into our lives, it's a question of making it become habitual. So that means sticking at it until we consider it part of our weekly or daily routine. Many experts say it takes 21 days to adapt to a new change. Others say 90. I always go for 90-day plans. When I work with people, it's normally a 3-month plan or a 6-month plan, so that we can really make sure that whatever changes they're looking to make in their life, for themselves, for their relationships, for their food, then it lasts. And if you do something for 90 days, it becomes your way of being. So always try and plan for 90 days. That's my tip. But even if you can do 21, that's a great start. And the other key thing about adding exercise into your life is really finding something that you really enjoy and do it for a length of time that is comfortable to you. One lady who came to me for anxiety counselling online didn't want to leave the house or go to the gym at first, because she felt very self-conscious about her body, and she also used to worry about getting a panic attack if she left the house and she didn't have her husband with her. So she started hula hooping, which I thought was really cool. She always loved hula hooping as a child, and she'd done it a little bit as an adult, and it really reminded me of my childhood as well when she was sharing about hula hooping. She absolutely loved it, and she did it every day. And she started doing 15 minutes, and then 20 minutes, and then half an hour. And now sometimes she just does it for hours. And she would send me videos each morning, just doing like a 1 minute, just to show me. And so that I could also have a learn and have a go. Another woman that didn't have time to exercise started yoga online, just doing a few basic stretches. She didn't have time to do a full routine, so she would just do 20 minutes. And another man I worked with, who was a busy father and executive, decided to put weights in the garage and then had a personal trainer once a week to go to his office, so that he had someone to hold him accountable. And that's the main difference. You may know all of these things as ways to relieve stress, but you're not doing them. And that's why having a coach, a specialist, a motivator can be really, really powerful. And if you don't like the exercise you're doing, then stop. Or if you're forcing yourself to do too much, then stop, because we don't want you to be adding any more stress. The idea is that the exercise takes away the stress. So if you haven't exercised for a while, maybe you want to just start with walking. Walking around the block, listening to podcasts or audiobooks, where you can just stop any time you like. And you'll find, I'm sure, as soon as you get out there, that you'll just keep going round and round and round. Exercise is good when you feel uplifted after, and when your mind has been focused on other things than your worries or stress. The next one is improve your sleep. Stress can cause you to lose sleep, and at the same time, a lack of sleep contributes to your stress. It's a vicious cycle to escape, but it's a starting point and worth it. So make a point of improving your sleeping habits by switching off earlier if you can, or taking all the distractions out of the equation. The better you sleep, the better you will feel, and you will be able to be better prepared to handle stressful situations as well as everyday life. For example, unfortunately, I've had to stop watching crime thrillers and murder mysteries and things like that, even though I really like them, but I always have nightmares if I watch them before I go to bed. So now I make sure if I do want to watch them, I watch them one early in the evening, and then I watch other TV to relax or do something else to relax. But actually, I've just found that I've been doing so much more different activities and things that the amount of TV I watch has just really, really reduced to just a few hours a week now. But I do like it sometimes, especially comedy. Comedy just to release, just to laugh. And one of my popular hypnotherapy sessions, one of the most popular hypnotherapy sessions that I offer, is deeper sleep and waking up feeling positive, calm and confident. Because often people will say that they go to bed and they can't sleep, or as soon as their head hits the pillow, their mind starts racing of all the things that they need to do, all the things that are stressing them out, all their worries about the future, and this can be horrible. So if this is happening to you, that you feel calm in the day, but then it's your sleep where the stress really comes out, then consider getting a hypnotherapy track to listen to help switch off that mind chatter, to tell you to calm down. Some of the suggestions that I put into my hypnotherapy, and you might want to repeat these to yourself, is I say to the clients is, you can be calm. Your mind can be calm. Everything you can deal with in the morning, easily and effortlessly. So for now, you can just let go. You can just relax. Because you can trust in life, and you can trust in yourself. And when you trust in life and you trust in yourself, everything you need to deal with, you can deal with in the morning, in its own right time. And you can sleep now. You can sleep deeply and peacefully. And if you awaken, you will sleep and get back off to sleep even quicker than you ever imagined. Those things like that, that's the kind of things that I say in these hypnotherapy sleeping tracks. So maybe you want to say some of these to yourself. Sometimes when I just say them to people, they think, wow, oh, that's so calming. It's amazing how just saying calming thoughts can really make a difference. The last thing that you might want to do is seek specialist support. Speaking with a specialist in the area that you need help, be it relationships, eating, finances, work, that listens to you, that asks questions, is a great step to dealing with stress. Ideally, you want someone that could also give you some suggestions, some ideas, and be a guide to transitioning or transcending difficulties. Often people complain to me that they tried counselling, and after a few sessions they felt that they weren't getting much from it, as they felt that they just kept going over the past. They were talking about their childhood, or they were talking about their previous difficult relationship history, or they were talking about a work situation, and they mentioned the problems, but they kept talking about the problems. And after the initial benefit offloading, there weren't really many other benefits, and they craved strategies and tools. So it's important to make sure that whoever you work with, you say to them, are we going to be discussing some goals, some actions, some things to help me move forward? Now, what I've shared with you today in this stress relief episode are tips really for immediate stress relief. And if there's consistent stress, then it's really important to address it. Sometimes the stress is coming from dealing with addictions that cause stress. You know what I mean if you've ever had an addiction, or if you're struggling with addiction, that awful waking up in the morning feeling shameful, regret, guilt, promising yourself you're never ever going to do it again, and then the same thing happens, whether it's with food or drink or something else. And it's just this whole cycle. And then there is stress from work. So maybe there's work changes that you need to address to reduce stress. Maybe there's restructuring finances and taking new financial decisions to reduce the stress in your life. And maybe there's making changes to your romantic relationships, giving more love, receiving more love, doing more loving actions, letting resentment go, communicating more effectively. And then there's setting boundaries with toxic relationships, protecting yourself, and learning to say no. And then lastly, there's really learning to love yourself completely, including your imperfections and your perceived weaknesses. And if you're struggling with that, I had a lady this morning saying she didn't know how to love herself, she didn't know how to have that self-confidence, then on my website, under individual counselling, I have a link saying Self-Love Audio Program. And the Self-Love Audio Program is an 8-week training where you can really start to transform how you treat yourself, what you say to yourself, and this can make a huge difference. And it's normally $500 At the moment, it's at a discount. Discounted it to under $100. So if you feel like you want to give yourself this gift of action steps that are going to get you into loving yourself, into feeling better about your life and your relationships, whether it's with your husband or wife, or with food, or with a family member, then it can be really powerful. Just visit nicolabeer.com, or you can email me, nb@nicolabeer.com. And lastly, some men and women, they come to me for stress management because they cannot make a decision. A decision on whether to stay or end a marriage, whether to live in a different country or change career. And the best way to approach this is really through talking it through with someone you trust. And it's not just about thinking through, this is the pros, this is the cons. To actually decide on life major decisions, we need to feel them. How would I feel if I did this? How would I feel if I didn't do this? And that's where some really great coaching can really make a lot of difference into helping you to work out. Because sometimes we can become addicted to thinking. And sometimes our thinking causes that stress. Because we're pushing ourselves to make a decision using the mind, and when we need to go into our feelings and we need to go into our bodies. If you're not ready for one-to-one support yet, or financially things are a bit strained at the moment, then keep listening to the podcast. I will be sharing more things about relationships and eating as we go through. I just want to say that unfortunately stress is unavoidable, as we all know, but we do have a choice on how we deal with it. We cannot avoid risk, but we can allow it to pass through us. So what can you do for yourself? That's the main key question to ask yourself. And when are you going to start doing it? Because it's the small steps every day to look after yourself that goes a long way. Which is why my self-love program is so popular, because it's about taking new actions to create a new reality. And it all starts from within. So I hope you found something useful in this today. I can't wait for you to join me in the next episode. Wherever you are, have an awesome day ahead.
Thank you for listening to Emotions and Eating with Nicola Beer. To book your free eating strategy session with Nicola, get the free eating support audio or donate. If you have enjoyed the show and want to help keep the show flowing, visit www.nicolabeer.com, where you can also find out more about her new system that has helped hundreds of men and women to change their relationship with food and their body, so they experience more peace and love in their life. We wish you an amazing love-filled day ahead.